tuned into Between You, Me, and the Speculum with Dr. Jew, pushing wellness for women and having honest conversations about your health. On today's episode, Dr. Jew answers a mother's concern during high school grad season, critical milestones for young women, and more. It's grad season, so let's tune in, take notes, and share what Dr. Jew delivers.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Jew with Dr. Jew Delivers. Thank you for joining me today. Today must be Wednesday because this is the day that we push wellness for women. Thank you for joining me today. Please take a moment to subscribe, to share, and to like. Welcome. This is Between You, Me, and the Speculum. You know, I was just thinking before we get started today, I used to be a teacher. Don't know if everyone knows that, but I used to teach science and health in the Atlanta Public Schools. I was a teacher at an alternative school program, and I only taught for a little under 2 years, but it was absolutely a joy. One of the brighter points in my life to be able to educate young people, especially in areas where they were just green. They had no idea. We weren't just talking about mitosis and meiosis, but we were talking about hygiene. We were talking about self-care, self-respect, all those things. And one thing that I remember, I was a little sad when I actually left after I got accepted to medical school and I left. And now I was in medical school and I did my rotations at a local public county hospital. And when I met one of my professors, I love this to this day. He said to me, well, don't think of becoming a physician. And by that time, we knew that I wanted to become a women's health specialist, an obstetrician, gynecologist, or an OBGYN. And he said to me, don't be sad that you are no longer in a classroom. You have opportunity. He said your exam room will become your classroom. And that is exactly 20 years later, that is what I'm doing. So this podcast this year in 2025 marks 20 years of me being a full-fledged attending once I finish residency. And it has been a joy for 20 years. I stopped delivering babies 6 years ago, delivered over 4,000 here between my time in Pittsburgh and when I moved here in Metro Atlanta, over 4,000 babies. Tens of thousands of women that I have been blessed and honored to take care of, and I thank you for trusting me in that way. But now I am broadening my audience even outside the exam room, and this I consider as another classroom. So thank you and welcome Between You, Me, and the Speculum, my new podcast. So what I wanted to share today, I wanted to take the time today to answer a question that a mother actually stopped me and asked. She has a daughter graduating soon from high school, and she says, what do I need to do to prepare my daughter to go off to college? I love it. And so I gave her my tidbits, but I wanted to share those with you today. So, first of all, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, or ACOG, ACOG for short, ACOG recommends that young girls start being seen by a gynecologist between the ages of 13 and 15. And I reassure my patients who are inquiring about their teenage daughters, we are not about to do a speculum exam on them, whether or not your daughter is sexually active at such a young age. Unless there's a problem, of course, but it is not routine, nor do we do pap smears on them. Really, the goal of that initial visit between 13 and 15 is for education, and it is for starting to build a relationship. Again, I've been practicing here in Metro Atlanta for 20 years, and the number of my now 30-year-old patients who are, boss ladies in their own rights, the number of them who came to me when they were, 15, 16, 17, 18, just I just love it because they have matured. I've been able to watch them mature, but I've also seen how they interact with me. You know, oftentimes moms will bring their daughters at a young age, and then by visit 2, 3, 4, they're showing up on their own. So I love it. You are building the confidence of your daughters to be seen, to be heard, to have the ability to go in and ask for what they want, to ask questions if they need. Seen, to be heard, to have the ability to go in and ask for what they want, to ask questions if they need. I love it. So let's get back to today's topic. Today, I want to share with you just some of the things that I share with those usually 17, 18-year-olds who are on their way off to college. But I'm talking to the moms because I want you to know what we're going to talk about, okay? So when I meet your daughter, your college-bound daughter, what we are talking about, let's start with the menstrual period. I want to know how she is managing, how her periods are. Are they regular? How frequent are they? How long do they last? Are they heavy? Are they, is it to the point where she is having to change whatever sanitary device she uses, whether it's a cup or even the period underwear now? Nowadays, we didn't have that back in my day. The period underwear, we had those cups either. Or is she using a sanitary napkin or a tampon? How often does she have to change? Does she get embarrassed? Does she not go out? Does she not plan to go with her friends because her period is supposed to come on this weekend? And is it controlling her life? What is the quality of her life? So we talk about the menstrual cycle. We talk about painful periods, what we can do to help alleviate or at least minimize the impact of those heavy, painful periods. We talk about if they're regular anyway, right? A lot of women do deal with what we call PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, or polycystic ovary syndrome. We talk about that because we want to give women voice and give them confidence that they can control those periods. It is nothing worse to be studying for whatever you're studying or trying to enjoy the college life and your periods are all irregular. It's one thing to be at mama's house, but to be in your dormitory with, for many of us, strangers, when we go off to college, we don't know the person that is assigned to our rooms, and you have to navigate this world, this new world of college in the presence of strangers. So we're going to talk about the menstrual cycle, and we're going to make sure that we are armed with what we need. Sometimes moms, we don't have to start with birth control. And oftentimes in my younger teen population, if they're having what we call dysmenorrhea, which are painful periods, a little cramp here and there may be normal. It is normal. But if you are in pain doubled over, calling mom to pick you up from the last 2 periods of your class every month around the same time, we need to do something about it. Because I don't know about you, but that is not quality of life to me. And then you have responsibilities. You may have after school activities. You just do not want to be dealing with that. So what's going to happen when she goes off to college, okay? So if you're on birth control and need birth control for birth control, that's one thing. But oftentimes we use birth control for period control. That's another. And if you want to try something even before that because your daughter is saving herself or has rededicated her body and said, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to wait off a little later, whether it's marriage or just for a committed relationship. Nonetheless, I want you to give your daughter a voice and give her options.
I had been going to the doctor for years with heavy bleeding. I kept being told there's nothing wrong with me. A woman can tell her body when something's going on, and I just couldn't accept the fact that they were telling me it's the change of life. Dr. Burt did a pathology report and found out I had cancer. Just her compassion, her bedside manner, her care for me as a patient was just amazing. She literally saved my life.
Visit Radiant Women's Health in Conyers, helping you shine from the inside out.
those options may be taking Advil or naproxen, which is Aleve, Advil, or Motrin, which is ibuprofen. And if you take those medications, if you have regular periods, it's great. You can look at the calendar and say, oh, my period is slated to come on next week, Tuesday. Well, maybe on Sunday morning, I'm going to start taking this regimen. We could talk about more of that. Or you can ask your gynecologist or even pediatricians to go through that process a little bit better with you. But it is helpful to decrease a certain chemical that our uteruses secrete prostaglandins. And I want to get ahead of that before day one when I'm like, my periods are heavy, they're flowing heavy, I am just doubled over in pain, and now I can't get to my class like I'm supposed to. Okay, so we're going to talk all about the menstrual cycle. We're going to talk about the reproductive organs in general. We're going to talk about hygiene. Hello. We need to talk about hygiene because I understood back when I was teaching that every mama did not sit down and teach her daughter to wipe how from front to back. And I've had grown women who tell me it's just easier to go from back to the front. It may be easier, but you're going to be in here with yeast infection, bacterial infections, urinary tract infections, all of that. So we want to train and teach our daughters even younger than the college age, but definitely we're going to reiterate it at that visit. We want to address not only hygiene, we want to address the growth of the body, right? Some women they're done. By the time they walk across that stage for high school to get their high school diploma, they are at their max height. Many of us will still gain a few inches even into our early 20s. So make sure you know that last visit to the pediatrician's office when you may have been 16 or 17 may not be the last time you need to take a height. We need to talk about vaccinations. We need to talk about opportunities to protect ourselves. And I'm not only talking about the ones that I've shared on a previous podcast about the HPV vaccine. That is so important because I'm going to tell you, I'm in Metro Atlanta, but out where my practice is, I like to consider it an extension of the Bible Belt. And I have had moms to push back about that HPV vaccine. You may have heard me say this before, and they go, well, my daughter is going to be a virgin when she goes down the aisle. And I go, that is absolutely wonderful. And what about the husband who's at the front of the aisle waiting for her? How do you know that he has kept himself? Do you want your daughter's fiance who's standing down there waiting, excited? And maybe he is waiting. She has been waiting for her first night to be her wedding night. But did he? And would we want that the groom is the one who introduced the HPV to their partner? So I'm just letting you know that is a great plan. Even if your daughter has agreed to it, she may have taken a vow of chastity. That is all good and fine. I don't know about your daughter's future partner. So we want to protect the cervix at all costs. I tell my patients all the time, protect your cervix. And you do that. This is part of my conversation before they go off to college. And you do that how? You do that by not experimenting with your body. Monogamy is, I don't know, it's like a little dirty word. But worse than that is serial monogamy. You know what I'm saying? Where you have a new partner every 3 months, every 90 days, you're in relations with a new person. I'm going to need you to be a little bit more particular than that. And I tell patients all the time, use your hair, your makeup, experiment with that. But don't experiment with your body, please. And I know there's a new age women out here. But if you're going to do anything, especially with people that you don't know that you trust yet, you must protect the cervix and put a condom on either if you're with a male partner, or you use some kind of protective barrier with the female condom, whatever your pleasure, but you need to protect it. And that means orally as well.
When did this begin? How long has it been going on? Did you think it would just go away? Men talk about it. Why can't we?
Hi, I'm Dr. Julianne Adams-Burt. 43% of women experience a sexual problem, yet they don't want to talk about it. We can help you feel the way you used to. So talk to us. Visit radiantwomenshealth.com today.
Women do not understand, mamas, I'm talking to you, do not understand, and young people don't understand that when I come in the room and I ask you, are you currently sexually active? I am not only referring to, and I'll break it down to them, I am not only referring to vaginal intercourse, because there are many ways to be penetrated and aroused, and there are many ways for body fluids to be exchanged. And in any opportunity for bodily fluids to be exchanged, there's opportunity for viruses, bacteria to get in, and fungi as well. So we want to protect and put a barrier. So if you are allowing someone to perform orally on you, or vice versa, you are performing oral sex on somebody, hello, then it is vitally important that we put a barrier between them. If you see that guy that you've been wanting to talk to and now y'all kicking it on the yard, mamas, I'm telling you, and he has a cold sore, and your daughter says, but no, I'm going to protect myself, I'm going to keep myself, but she's allowing him to perform oral sex on her, it is very possible that that would be the very opportunity for her to exchange some bodily fluids, first of all, and herpes can become acquired at that time. Oftentimes, and this is just my practice, I will tell you that most of my patients who are exposed to herpes are exposed at different times in their lives, but one is in college or new partners later in life. It's like mind-boggling the number of women who are exposed in those seasons of their lives. So we want to talk about not only the menstrual cycle, reproduction, reproductive organs and how they're changing, not only in the genital area, of course, the breast. Some young women are concerned about the growth of their breast, the size. Vice versa, they may be wanting to reduce the size of their breast if they are well endowed. We can have those conversations as well. We are going to talk about protecting ourselves against STDs, the monogamy being the first thing if abstinence is not the way that she chooses to continue to go. For today, I went and I asked ChatGPT, what percentage of young girls as freshmen enter college as virgin? And the number in 2025, or these were a few years ago numbers, about 40 to 50%. But then Georgetown University did a study just, I believe, 2022, and they said by the time she enters sophomore year, that 50% of women goes down to 29% who are still virgins. So there is a higher chance that once she puts her foot on campus, that there may be a change of mind and a change of patterns here. So mamas, what I'm asking you to do is to protect your daughters by encouraging them. Get a visit in. Usually the last week of July, beginning of August, I am overloaded with college students. I want your daughter to be here too, or go see your gynecologist if you feel comfortable with him or her, or them, and or seek somebody. If you feel like your gynecologist won't be able to share on her level, then find maybe their partner who you think will. It is important to have the conversations. Let's go back to vaccinations, because I did miss one. Not only do we want to protect against the HPV, which recall that over 80% of cervical cancers are caused, even higher, 90% or more, of cervical cancers are caused by HPV. HPV, human papillomavirus, is sexually transmitted. Hepatitis B, bodily fluid exchange. You got that vaccine. Most, I think it's over 70% in America, allow their children, their babies, to be vaccinated from hepatitis B. But yet, again, here in my Bible Belt area, people want to tell me, well, I want my daughter to have a choice. Well, more than likely, you've already given her one anti-sex sexually transmitted infection type vaccine. So keep it going and protect her. We are here at Cerise D Jewelry, the showroom, the fabulous showroom. We are here with physicians, attorneys, educators, Black women professionals of Atlanta. I am so excited to have helped to curate this event. Now, I had nothing to do with this fabulousness you're seeing here. The food that's down the hall, it is all the creativity and the vision of Cerise and her mother, Deborah. This place is the place to come, ladies. If you have an event coming up and you want to set your outfit off, you need to call here, schedule an appointment, because this place ain't open just every day. You have to make an appointment. Did you see this fabulousness here? You see the design I'm wearing as well. So thank you for stopping by our page, and consider coming out on your own time.
Jewelry, so one of a kind, it's on time. Cerise State Jewelry, so one of a kind, it's on time. Cerise State Jewelry, so one of a kind, it's on time. Mirror, mirror on the wall, fashionistas having balls, stretch your stuff every day. Missions fashion, by the way, the secret's out, designers fly, pose for the camera.
Protect your daughters. All right, so what else do we want to share? I wanted to say there are other vaccinations. Again, I'm a women's health specialist. I don't offer vaccines out of my office, but I will send you where you need to go, even the health department. And meningitis is important to be protected against as well. So please encourage, this is for young men and young women who are gone off to college, because in those crowded spaces, just like jails and prisons, crowded dormitories, it is easier to be transmitted. So let's get the vaccinations and let us protect. And you may even want to send them to college, put it in their little, in your little mommy bag that you're going to send with your little love notes to her, and let her know I'm rooting for you in all the ways, right? And give her some condoms. I'm just saying, you may want to consider that. Pack it away. We always talk about the condoms for the men and the dads. You give it to the men and say, hey, dad, hey, son, you're going to use this. Teach your daughter how to use it. I'm just saying. All right, so not only do we want to talk about the menstrual cycle, issues that may be surrounding that, we want to talk about the reproductive organs, the genitalia, the hygiene, how and when and why you may want to groom those areas, shaving, using products that remove the hair with the creams and lotions. Whatever way you choose to share, just have those open conversations, because this is a tricky time. I remember when I went off to college, I called my mom. It was before the days of cell phones in everybody's hands, right? We were getting those long distance plans. So mama got a call on Sunday evenings because she was not trying to pay that bill. But I still called my mom. And as we get older, we lean on moms and we do ask questions. So go ahead and open up that door. And open up that door of communication. I think it is wonderful to do. And don't be so shocked, and don't assume that if she is interested in birth control, that means she is going to, begin having sex or more sex or whatever the situation may be. It may be just she don't want to have a period while she trying to tackle this engineering major she decided to take on. So open those lines of communication, open those doors wide, open them wide, and let your daughters feel safe. Let them feel safe. Let them come talk to you, come talk to me. I'm all here for you. Anything else that I wanted to share? I don't think so. We want to protect our daughters. We want to make sure that they have voice, and teach them no. Teach them the word no. Teach them that no means no. And they don't have to explain to anybody. You do want to teach them, not trying to be old school, but we're just going to be practical, that they want to go in circles with friends, sister circles, find their tribe early when they get to college, and they don't want to go off alone. I'm going to end this by sharing one thing that my own mother shared with me. I'm going to shout you out, Mama. Hey there, Reverend Dr. Henrietta Smith Adams. But my mom told me this before I came to Atlanta. I've been here ever since I came down here at the age of 18. My mother shared this with me, and I remember feeling so proud to be able to share with my girlfriends. And here's the story. We were off at I think it was Club Excess. For all of y'all in Metro Atlanta, remember Club Excess, and we were at Club Excess. And everybody had their little drink. And I remember somebody wanted to get up and go to the dance floor. And I said, well, wait a minute. Is everybody going? And they were like, yeah, let's go. And everybody started getting up from the table. And I said, well, no. You can't all get up right now. We all can't get up. And they were like, why? I said, well, if we're going to get up, I don't know what the song was, but maybe it was just hopping and happening in the moment. And we wanted to get up. But I said, but we need to finish our drinks. We cannot leave the drinks on the table and go dance and come back to them. So you either leave one person, let's say, may not be the dance floor. You may be going to the bathroom. You need to do that in shifts. Or once you leave that table and a drink is sitting on top, it needs to be forgotten. If all of you have left and you've left your eyes off of those drinks, it needs to be done. And I remember that moment, and they were like, but why? And I said, because my mama said that there are people who will spike your drink, and you won't know where you're waking up the next morning. If I've never said thank you, Mama, I want to thank you, because not only did you share that with me, and I was listening, I was able to share that with my sister circle that I've been hanging out with at Club Excess. All right. Whew. I've been long today. I'm sorry. Make your appointments. Make them early, because I'm telling you, those appointments, everybody's going back to school around the same time. Don't be trying to get in and then, I want to get an IUD for my daughter. You can't come in on Monday to every office and get it before she's, y'all are packing up the SUV to drive off on Thursday. So make those appointments early. Let's have these conversations, ladies. Moms, we're here to support you as you support your daughters. Thank you. All right, thank you for joining me for another round of Between You, Me, and a Speculum. Let's talk about all the things. If you have some suggestions, I don't mind. Hit me up on IG or Facebook. Send me a message on YouTube. But please, before you go, do me a favor and share, subscribe, and pass the word on. Okay? Thank you. Bye. Hi, I'm Dr. Jude. This is Between You and Me and the Speculum.
The content shared on Between You, Me, and the Speculum with Dr. Ju is for informational purposes only. While Dr. Ju is a licensed physician, the information provided should not be considered a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult your primary care physician or healthcare provider before making any changes to your health or wellness routine. The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and do not represent the views of any medical institution or organization.